Yes, people. So 12, 12, 12 has passed, and looks like we're still here. Looks like the world hasn't gone anywhere, and I guess on that premise, one has to wonder really about the logistical levels of thought that some people are exuding when they speak about the world and the future of the world and things beyond their control. But what is within your control is how you deal with your own issues, and more importantly, how you interact with other people whilst you are alive on this planet. And as 2012 comes to an end, and I sit here on my lovely new lounger, well, second-hand lounger, in my yard in Barbados, it's kind of made me think that it's time to film this piece properly, because it's been done, unfortunately, on an iPhone on YouTube currently. So I wanted to give you the clean-cut version of this. Because as 2012 ends, folks, I think people need to focus more on bettering themselves and concerning themselves with what it actually is that their lives entail. And as 2013 arrives, I would say this, what you hear at the end of this piece is how I suggest you take your spiritual ideologies, your views on energy transferal, and all those other kind of, I guess, a little bit crazy in many people's eyes things, out into the world, into the sphere of things. Because, you know, you have to wonder really, after all the hype about 12, 12, 12, whether all the stuff that people say really makes any difference, right? So, we talk about differences, or more importantly, difference. So folks, really, do the things people say really make any difference? Well, at the end of the day, most display indifference. Indifference towards promoting a cause like reducing wars and corporate fraud to ensure that the poor suffer less than more. See, apathy reigns in many brains, just like cocaine inflames membranes. Nowadays the game's become a strain, which I guess is why indifference flies like chemical highs that now supply submissive and illicit minds. Indifference in them's causing problems. Check the news at 10 and you'll see the effects. Bullets to heads, stab wounds to chest. Parents upset because their children face tough tests, huh? Radical men inciting trends that lead to violence and death. And let's not forget our government friends. What they submit to clearly fuels divisive crews to make different moves that do make a difference to me and you. Views that lead to racist views, political coups bred to confuse, issues used like Looney Tunes without the jokes, when what they do leave people broke, blackened and blue and drained of hope. Let those words soak into your pores like suds of soap, indifferent strokes like ropes through dopes of ignorant whores whose thoughts are flawed. See, that's a big Virge quote, built to choke weak throats. Ollie awoke while Joe just smoked, huh? Frazier for those too young to know. See, figures like these from history made a difference to me because of how they made me feel, which I guess is why my poetry, right, floats like butterflies and stings like bees. But who do the youth look up to now, huh? Sporting thugs who now take drugs, or rappers who put up a front about their guns they shoot for fun? Since when was that defined as fun? Shooting a gun to see blood run from another human? Well, here's my stance. Some rappers truly should be hung, then unduly burnt with their guns well done. Because their words do affect young herds and do make a difference to younger ones. Young attitudes provide clear proof that raps consumed do affect some youth. Something is cool to now be rude, and fear is used just like a tool to threaten and abuse like governments do. Do you get the link? Take a minute and think. Gangsters come in many forms. Those in suits may not perform, but when you think about rappers and government heads, ask yourself this. Are they that different? I'll let you decide while I use my rhymes to be your guide to a place where minds become more wise. See, they'll sell their souls for a large bankroll. Do you really believe everything that they say? It's pretty clear nowadays that governments thieve and rappers deceive just to get paid. What happened to, man? The good old days, huh? When MCs ruled and made their name without false claims to earn their wage, it's now a game of different strains. You know, folks, indifference claims so much today that I'm afraid it's now too late to rearrange and make a change. See, girls are now indifferent to advances from men, which pretty much ends any chance of sex, or better still love, kisses and hugs. While men now sense that girls are tense, so now we too, yep, many of us are indifferent, right, to trying to woo. Most now want sex without the stress of women who use periodical moves as their excuse to hurl abuse. See, these are things indifference brings. Our differences are unique gifts, folks, not presents that we should reject. It's time, I sense, to connect much more and separate less. So many divorce from life's problems that when they come, they get struck. No. Life's now not fun because we've run from making sense of nonsense fed by governments who feed us stress to reduce our attempts to stand against their dud concepts. Please, folks. Oh, yes. Heed the words, yes, that I have said. And like I said at the very beginning of this poem, I merely suggest that you try your very best as 2013 approaches and for our future to make a difference.